What's going on, guys? Briar Rabbit here. The long-awaited day is here. A brand new sandbox tuning, a brand new meta for the Crucible. Update 2.5.0.2 is out. Download it now on your console of choice. We're going to go over the hotfix, look at the changes. There is some new stuff here, stuff that was not covered in the live stream for last week. So we're going to cover that stuff. We're going to go over the old stuff. I'll give you guys some impressions as well. So let's start off with the Crucible and special ammo, by far the most talked about topic of the last week or so. So first of all, adjusted special ammo economy in all game types. Players start Crucible matches with special ammo. Special ammo is now lost upon death. Sidearms are not affected by this change. Special ammo crates now appear every 60 seconds, initial spawn and respawn. Special ammo crates are shared with allies within 75 meters, down from 100 meters. And special ammo timing in Mayhem is unchanged. So in most game types, you still start with your special ammo, but when you die, you're going to have to go and get a crate. They should be fairly common because they spawn every 60 seconds. But what I expect to see is more fighting between teams over special ammo crates and less people running around using special ammo as their primary, whether that's shotguns or snipers or even fusion rifles. Sidearms are still going to be pretty prevalent. I expect to see a lot more sidearms than we've seen in the past because they're completely unaffected by this change. When you respawn with a sidearm, you're going to have ammo. Elimination. They specifically point out elimination and some changes here. Round time limit has been reduced to 90 seconds, down from 2 minutes. Players only start with special ammo for round 1 in elimination game types. Special ammo timing is 30 seconds initial, then 45 seconds for respawns, and special ammo is wiped at the beginning of subsequent rounds. So everybody starts with special ammo. When you die, you lose it, and every time a new round starts, you lose it. So once again, we're going to see a lot of teams fighting over special ammo, and I think we're going to see a lot more primary fighting in the Trials of Osiris, and that actually excites me. I also like the change from 2 minutes to 90-second rounds. Trials of Osiris, to me, can get a little monotonous at times, especially when you got campers and people just hanging back in their spawn. It can feel very slow. Changing the round timer to 90 seconds hopefully will speed up the pace of play a little bit, and it could reduce the amount of scories camping because they're just going to have less time to charge up those supers. So we'll see how that works. I'm hopeful. I'm definitely going to play some Trials of Osiris this weekend to see how it goes. Next, we're on to weapons. A lot of this stuff we've already covered. Some of it is brand new, though. Hand cannons significantly increase initial accuracy returns to launch year 1. They reduced the base range to 35 meters from 40 meters. They reduced aim assist and magnetism at longer ranges, and they reduced minimum damage after fall off from 50% to 33%. So hand cannons are going to be more accurate initially. Your first shot is going to go exactly where you aim it. If you spam that trigger, though, you're still going to see that year 2 bloom. The trade-off for that is they're going to be less effective at long ranges. You're going to do less damage, and it's going to be harder to hit your target. So the good rolls for hand cannons probably not going to change. You're still going to want a ton of range to give it as much aim assist, magnetism, and do as much damage as you can with your hand cannon at range. So not a significant change to the meta of hand cannons, but a significant change to the initial accuracy should make hand cannons feel better. Auto rifles, I'm very excited about this. Increased precision damage modifier to 1.3x, up from 1.25x. Increased base damage of low rate of fire auto rifles by 2.5%, and increased in-air accuracy. Auto rifles should be in the meta of the Crucible. They are very new player friendly. They're fun to use. They just should be viable in the Crucible. And now, hopefully, we'll have to test it out. This should make a lot of them viable in the Crucible. Next up, pulse rifles. Reduce rate of fire for very high rate of fire pulse rifles by 7.7%. It's a big reduction. Increase rate of fire for low rate of fire pulse rifles by 5.3%. That's a nice gain. Reduced magazine size of Clever Dragon and Grasp of Malak by 6. So not only are they going to fire slower, but they've also reduced the magazine size of the Clever Dragon and the Grasp. Reduced the effect of high caliber rounds for Pulse Rifle and increased in-air accuracy. So I think this is something that a lot of people are going to be playing with. Is the low rate of fire Pulse Rifle viable now? Is the spare change and it's like viable? Are the Clever Dragon and the Grasp of Malak still any good? We're going to have to wait and see. There's going to be a lot of testing going on in the next week or so. Not many changes to Scout Rifles. We basically get increased in-air accuracy. Shotguns, however, see a lot of changes. Shotguns no longer deal precision damage. The Chaperone and Universal Remote are unaffected by this change. Note, Universal Remote only deals precision damage when in ADS. Shotguns now have significantly less magnetism when fired from the hip. Shotguns now have significantly less in-air accuracy. Shotguns no longer have a movement penalty. Shotguns now deal 20% more damage to combatants. Rangefinder on shotguns now increased ADS time by 25%. Reduced Universal Remote's magazine size to 3 from 5, and Universal Remote now takes longer to reload. So a lot of changes to shotguns here. It seems to me like they're trying to take some of that shotgun rush mentality out of the Crucible. You combine this with the changes to special ammo, it looks like there's going to be more primary fights in the Crucible. Shotguns are still going to be good. Rangefinder is definitely going to get a nerf here, but we're just going to have to see. We're just going to have to play with these. I expect them to feel a little slower. You're not going to be able to zoom around as much as you used to and kill people from in the air without ADSing. We'll have to wait and see. I suspect shotguns are still going to be good. They're just not going to be as good as they have been for the last year or so. Exotics, the Young Wolf's Howl has reduced Howling Flames ammo cost from 10 to 5. It's exactly the change that's needed. I can't wait to start using my Young Wolf's Howl. Truth, this one was unexpected. They reduced the magazine size from 3 to 1, which is a huge nerf for Truth. That was one of the biggest reasons to use it in the Crucible. Now, man, it's going to be hard to justify that because you're going to have to reload it after every shot fired. Probably a good change, though. For classes, in general, they reduce the health of Guardians with armor values above 10. They increase damage of flux grenades, magnetic grenades, and shoulder charge to ensure effectiveness across all armor values. So some things that weren't killing high health Guardians are now going to get that job done. Blink now disables your radar and HUD for a short time after activation. So the continued nerfing of Blink continues. I said continues twice. Weird. Hunter, the throwing knife now deals solar damage on impact. Why that took 2.5 years, I don't know. Hungering Blade, this is a very controversial set of changes. Hungering Blade, a kill immediately starts health regeneration and restores more health per kill. It gives a flat amount of health/shield per activation and does not immediately start regenerating shields. It is a big change. We're going to have to wait and see how it affects the Hungering Blade. I suspect that it's not going to be as big a change as people think. However, hunters using Hungering Blade are going to be a little more squishy when they activate their supers. The Blade Dancer's Quick Draw perk no longer readies your weapon instantly, but now grants a large increase to weapon handling speed. Another big nerf for Blade Dancers. The Warlock, the Viper Totemic on Ophidian Aspect no longer readies your weapon instantly, but now grants a large increase to weapon handling speed. So similar to the Quick Draw perk on Blade Dancer, Viper Totemic has been nerfed pretty hard. We'll have to see how different it feels, because I gotta tell you, the Ophidian Aspect is the reason I will play a Warlock. Stormcaller's Thunderstrike melee range reduced to be consistent with other Warlock subclasses. Amplitude will continue to grant a small range boost to new base range. Landfall now reduces the total time in Storm Trance. So Stormcallers getting some pretty rough nerfs there. The Titan, Juggernaut, is now disabled after being in the air for a short time and cannot be activated while in mid-air. So basically what this looks like is you cannot activate Juggernaut while jumping forward and in the air. You have to be on the ground for it to activate, and then if you jump up in the air, it'll disappear after about 2 to 3 seconds. So it will be active in the air for a short time, but you won't be able to fly in on your enemy with a Juggernaut shield and a shotgun, which I think is actually a pretty good change. Some general changes here and some surprises here. Outbreak Prime no longer triggers the corruption spreads by shooting at Ward of Dawn. So that was really effective against Ward of Dawn. No longer. Shinobu's Vow no longer adds an additional seeker to skip grenades. I'm actually really excited about that. Shinobu's Vow was really annoying. Skip grenades were really annoying. But again, it's another nerf for Blade Dancers. Removed intrinsic perks, knee pads, and Icarus on some talent grids. Fixed an issue where high caliber rounds were not functioning properly on hand cannons, scout rifles, machine guns, and sniper rifles. That's a nice change. I can't wait to try out some of my hand cannons and scout rifles that have high caliber rounds. Hungering Blade changes were also inadvertently applied to the following perks. For more information, check this post. So here's the deal. Bungie changed Hungering Blade, and it also changed all of these guys. Transfusion on the Striker Titan, Cauterize on the Sunbreaker Titan, Lifesteal on the Voidwalker Warlock, the Red Death perk, the Suros Legacy perk, no backup plans, Ward of Dawn cast, the Ram, Apotheosis Veil, Embrace the Void. They actually thought about delaying the patch because of this. They say they're working on it to fix all of these changes that were unintentional. However, they decided to go ahead and launch the patch because, frankly, I think the community would be happier just having them launch the damn thing and fix it later. Hopefully, it doesn't take, 3 to 6 months to fix it. Hopefully, they get this fixed pretty quickly. We'll have to wait and see. A lot of people were really looking forward to using the Suros regime, and if the Suros Legacy perk is not working properly, that may reduce the reasons to actually use that. No backup plans, Ward of Dawn, that hurts the Defender Titan significantly. The Ram, I don't think anybody's really using the Ram anymore, or Apotheosis Veil. But Embrace the Void, Lifestealer, both on the Voidwalker Warlocks, Cauterize, Transfusion. Those are big changes, so hopefully they get that fixed, or maybe they don't. We'll have to see. But those are the changes, some surprises in here. I'm looking forward to jumping into the Crucible this afternoon. I'll be live streaming this afternoon starting around 2 p.m. Eastern. Basically, once this video is uploaded. Thank you guys very much for watching. Hit that like button if you like the video. Hit subscribe if you're new to the channel. And I'll see you guys next time.